Hello and welcome to this market update that we're coming to you. I'm Nigel D'Souza, and at the halfway mark, well, things are looking pretty flat actually for the index. But there's plenty going on beneath the surface. Though the headline index is signaling a more or less flattish day, I'll tell you what, there's plenty happening. The broader markets, they're outperforming. And in terms of the Nifty, we've got a broad band. You've got the goalpost out there. The Nifty broad band is closer on 17,200 on the downside and around 17,500 on the upside. I say this because at the downside, you have the 20 DMA. That's closer to around 17,200. While on the upside, you have the 200 DMA. That's closer to around 17,500 odd. Now, keep in mind, today we're kickstarting a new fiscal year. And we're kickstarting a new month as well. So the month of April starts off. And if you just look at the 10-year average in the month of April, the Nifty does fairly okay. On an average, it's given 2% returns odd. But the broader markets outperform, and they've given returns of more than 3.5%. So the odds are that maybe, in fact, the broader markets will do better. Why is that? There's fresh allocation that you see in a new fiscal. Remember, towards the end of last year or towards the end of the fiscal, you see tax harvesting that takes place. That means there is some booking of losses such that you finalize your tax plan very well. But in the new year, you look at allocating more money. So that's why, in fact, we sometimes do see this playing out. Auto stocks, since it's the start of a new month, they're obviously going to be in focus. Hero MotoCorp, that's one stock that's one of the biggest gainers in trade today. It's up close to around 3%. The total sales numbers have come in at around 5.2 lakh units. Remember, Nomura was working with a number of close to around 4.9 lakh units. So that's a good beat out there. And on a year-on-year basis, it's a growth of close to around 15%. So that's one of the big gainers. Maruti, well, their March sales numbers as well are better than what Nomura was expecting. For the year, they've clocked in a number of 19.7 lakh units. Though the management has told us here at CNBC-TV18 that replicating this sort of a performance will be difficult, given the current challenges. The total March sales that they delivered were flattish at around 1.7 lakh units, but that was better than what brokerages were estimating. Eicher Motors continues to thump ahead. Well, for them, on the Volvo sales, they've done quite well. And the two-wheeler sales as well, they've done quite well with a growth of close to around 7% on a rather high base. And that's why that stock is still up close to around 1.5%. But these are about the large cap names. Some of the mid-sized companies or smaller cap companies, they're doing even better. SML Isuzu, they have pushed through a price increase. Now that stock is up and about in today's trading session. You have VST Tillers as well. The tillers part of their business continues to fire. On the tractors business, we're yet to see some traction out there. And Atul Auto as well, another small cap company close to around 800 crores in terms of market cap. That as well is flying away up close to around 7% odd. But things are not all going in the northward direction because there are a few stocks that are under some pressure. MGL as well as IGL, both of them are down more than 4%. Expectations were over this weekend that the Kirat Parikh recommendations would be accepted by the cabinet by April 1st. Well, that's not happened. The government has kept the APM gas prices unchanged at around $8.57, which is a bit of a disappointment because the street was factoring in those prices to come down. Now, let's see whether or not it will be taken up. But for the time being, the street is disappointed and both those two stocks are down close to around 4%. Finally, late last evening, you got news that there were further production cuts globally. And because of that, Brent crude prices had spiked up by close to around 5%. It's currently holding at around $84 per barrel. So that's negative for OMCs like HPCL, BPCL, as well as IOC. And before we wind down, a couple of banking stocks that are notably in focus. CSB Bank, they delivered very, very good numbers, in terms of an operational performance. So that stock's up close to around 3%. On the flip side, you have Karnataka Bank, that's down close to around 3% because their loan growth wasn't as great as expected. Well, as we wind down on this market update, just to give you the quick numbers that we're tracking for you, the Nifty is as flat as can be. The mid-cap index is doing an outperformance. It's up close to around 0.3%, while the Nifty Bank is up 130 points odd. Thanks so much for tuning in to this market update.